Thank you for coming back to see another video from the Eastport Tower HO scale layout. I modeled the northeast corridor, not entirely accurately, but from the days of the New Haven Railroad in its 1960s final bankruptcy through Penn Central and a little bit of Conrail up to about 1980 with Amtrak as well. One of my favorite locomotives ever, and I think the greatest looking road switcher ever built, was the Alco RS3, which was perfectly at home in freight, passenger, switching service, anything. It was so reliable for, from the early 50s well into the 80s on some railroads that it's a favorite of a lot of modelers. The New Haven rebuilt some, as you see here, a little bit different headlight, and of course you can see the toll that the bankruptcy has taken by the end of the 60s. And then finally, many of them, most of them, survived into Penn Central, which at first only did a cursory paint over of the New Haven logo and renumbered them, but soon they would all be covered entirely in black with Penn Central logo, which isn't even present in this photo. There's been a number of models of the RS3 and HO scale, and my favorite has to be the Hobbytown of Boston, a legendary model. Not only for its power and especially for the time, its faithfulness in detail and dimensions. The yellow box was for the powered units. The other box you see there was for the uh, plastic unpowered dummy models. Here's an old ad for Hobbytown of Boston. And indeed, it was all that. It was just renowned for its power. I've seen those things pull up to 75 cars, the flywheel model. What I wanted to do was to have a 4 or even 5 unit in one of the non-rebuilt paint schemes and just run it in something looking very much like this photo for a long freight train. I must stop here and mention that once again, the Hobbytown locos are being sold. The company went out of business. It was sold. It's under new ownership in New Jersey. Everything made in the U.S. and all of the detail parts, kits for all of the locomotives are still available at a reasonable price. I recently found the black one there at a train show that was a flywheel powered one from the 50s. I had previously bought that a gear drive one, which is the unpainted one then. This was a real project. For 25 bucks, I got one with reverse polarity, and 2 minutes after starting to run it at home, the drive shaft broke. Anyway, once I figured that stuff out and then lubed it and so forth, I was astounded at this 70-year-old locomotive at high speeds, at low speeds. Listen to that growl, that huge flywheel there. That is a thing of beauty. So the plan is to run the flywheel powered one as the leader, obviously, and the unpowered second metal heavy body as the first trailer, just for extra mass, and then 2 plastic dummy models, which I know work very well already from building some. And I wanted to make drawbars, which I did here, from gluing together 2 dummy couplers. I'll do the hoses later. I just wanted to see today how they worked in tandem. And I was really pleased at very high speed and extremely low speed. This thing, the black painted engine here, when I get it finished, it's going to be the flagship of my whole fleet. It is just so versatile and such amazing pulling power. I'm looking forward to a long freight train with that. There is the good old Eastport Tower. That is actually the source of the name, a fictitious Connecticut town for my layout. And there they go. It's just such a gas not only to watch them go by at low speed, but to listen with that great flywheel sound that approximates almost a Alco 244 engine. You'll see here when these come around a little bit closer, you'll see again that drawbar, and it worked pretty well. You don't like to have these locomotives separate when the 2 of them are this heavy, so that's why I decided to do that. Very, very nice. Can't wait to get all the details on there and get them painted. So part two of this video, which will be coming in a while after I get all those detail parts from Hobbytown, get them painted, decaled, everything, that will be the next step. Thanks for watching.